There are multiple different ways that you can enlarge a photo here inside Resize. On the right-hand side of the screen, the most important pane will be your document size pane. This tells you the current size of the image you have open. Right now, with no changes made to this photo yet, it's 19.2 by 12.8 inches at a resolution of 300. To make a change and enlarge the photo, all you need to do is type in a new width or height. The proportions are constrained, which means that when I change the width, the height will automatically adjust and the photo won't appear stretched. So let's go ahead and say that instead of 19.2 for the width, I want it to be 30. Go ahead and select it and just type in the new number. Automatically, the height is adjusted, so now instead of 19.2 by 12.8, my photo is 30 by 20 inches. You'll also notice that the resolution hasn't changed. It's not automatically connected to the width and height proportions. I can go through and I can select a different resolution or leave it the way that it is. Now, because this is going to be a larger photo, I may want to adjust the resolution for my large format printing. You can do this by typing in a new number or by clicking on the drop-down menu next to your resolution and selecting a new option. I'll be doing large format printing, so I'm going to drop this down from 300 pixels per inch to 240 pixels per inch. You can select whichever option will work best for you. Now, in many cases, if you type in a width or height, let's go ahead and readjust that width really quickly to 23. When I do so, you'll notice that the height is a very strange number now. So it's 23 by 15.33. These are both really strange numbers, and they're not going to fit very well on what paper I'm going to be working with. Up at the top of the document size pane, there's something called the preset drop-down menu. When I open this up, these are pre-packaged presets and sizes that are specific to things like paper type and photographic sizing. If I go to the paper section, for instance, you'll notice a lot of familiar numbers like 11 by 17, 17 by 22, and so on. You can also select the photographic section. These are all numbers that are based on a 4 by 5 ratio. So 8 by 10, 16 by 20, 20 by 24, and so on. Now, many of these will require that your image be cropped. So when I select one of these numbers, let's go ahead and choose 20 by 24. It will automatically apply a crop box to my image. Anywhere that is inside the crop box will be the 20 by 24, and I can shrink it, move it, or resize it if I'd like to. So I can just click on the screen and I can move that crop box into place. And once I'm finished, I can go down and click Save. One of the other ways that you can go through and resize your image is by going over to the left-hand side of your screen and selecting the crop tool. If you go up to the tool options bar, there are many different ways that you can adjust your photo, including typing in a custom width or height, as well as selecting a preset. If I go to the left-hand side of my tool options bar, you'll see 20 by 24 is selected. Many of these are specific ratios, as well as the same presets that you saw in the document size pane. If I scroll down, you'll see there are my paper and my photographic sections, as well as many other options here. You can also create your own custom sizes. If I scroll down to the custom section, choose Manage Custom Sizes, and go down to the bottom left-hand corner of the dialog and click Add, it will create a custom preset for you. Now, when it first applies, it's going to use the width and height that you have selected automatically in your tool options bar, 20 by 24. I can change this if I'd like to. So let's say that we want to create a preset that's specific to a frame that I may have. It is 23 by 20. It's an odd size. Let's say it was custom for another project, but that's the crop size that I may be using in the future. I'm going to go ahead and type in a new name for my preset. We'll go ahead and call it 20 by 23. I'm going to type in a new width. Instead of 20 by 24, we're just going to type in 23 and leave our height the way that it is. On the right-hand side, you'll also see you can adjust the units. If you don't work with inches, if you'd like to work with pixels or centimeters, for instance, you can select that option. Once you're done, you can go ahead and click OK. You can also continue adding lots of different sized presets that are specific to the work that you're going to be doing. To select a different preset, just go back up to that top left-hand corner. Let's go down and choose that custom size we just made and choose 20 by 23. It'll automatically adjust, and I can move my crop box around depending on where I want it to be. The last way that you can enlarge a photo is also by using the presets on the far left-hand side. Now, these presets come with not just a size adjustment, but many of them come with sharpening or gallery wrap adjustments that are specific to the type of printing you'll be doing. For instance, I know that I love to use Epson printers. I love matte paper, so I'm going to choose the Epson matte category. If you scroll through, you'll see that there are tons of different sizes that you can select. If we wanted to go with the 16 by 24, or that 20 by 30 option, we can select any of these presets. It'll reapply a crop box to our photo, and on the right-hand side, you'll see that it also applies sharpening. So there are many different ways that you can go through and you can adjust and enlarge your photo, whether you want to do it manually or whether you want to play around with the many different presets that you have access to here inside Resize.